I used to work in the OPD and I used to see half the patients that we don't have a child and were so traumatized. Half the patients would come and tell me that, oh, we don't want this child, we want an abortion. And then what would happen is I would feel as if I could take this baby from here and put it in there. And actually, I guess that's how I got attracted towards IVF. I went and actually tried endoscopic surgery, went to IVF, worked for a couple of weeks in both the places and then realized that I love IVF. I love infertility, reproductive endocrinology, and I shifted into that. So I began IVF, I started my center in Opera House in 1994. And then I shifted to Leelavati in 1998. Uh, and since then, I've established about 9 IVF centers. Of course, I work with a colleague, Dr. Pai, and we started these together. We have the Bloom IVF group. And we've established quite a few things for the first time in the country. For example, the laser hatching in '98. Then we had, after that, I think we had the metabolomics, the embryo scope, the vitrification, surrogacy, etc. We've done a lot of things, new things in this country. And what I have really gained is a lot of, I think I consider myself God's child to be able to do IVF because you get so much blessings in this field. It's amazing. You've actually looked through a microscope and you see this child which is under the microscope. And then when you deliver the child and comes out laughing, crying, kicking, alive, it's the most fabulous feeling you can get. The job satisfaction is enormous. I don't think anything in the world can, actually touch this. IVF is where we give the girls, injections and they produce 10 to 15 eggs. And then these eggs are taken out with the help of a needle using an ultrasound machine. And we get all the eggs out. We tell the husband to give us a semen sample. And here in a dish, we keep one egg and 50,000 sperms. So the sperms have to do their own job. The fertilization occurs in the dish. And then this dish is kept in the incubator. Incubators like the body, the temperature, the pH, everything is maintained properly, the humidity, etc. So this is IVF. But I told you that there was a major breakthrough in 1992 because IVF, you had to have good sperms. Now there were lots of men, 50% is male factor, who have low sperm count, motility is low, they're not moving, or zero sperms. Those kind of patients, we need a technology called ICSI. This was invented in 1992. There's a machine called the micromanipulator. So in that, what we do is we take one egg, one sperm in a needle and inject it directly into the egg. So no allying by itself. We assist the fertilization. And this has really changed the face of, infertility. It's the same thing. The same way we produce eggs, 10 to 15 eggs, watch it on ultrasound, then take the eggs out. Then the eggs are taken one by one and injected with the sperm. And these are put in the incubator. Now, after they put in the incubator, we take the eggs out, the embryo. It becomes an embryo. When it becomes a baby, it's known as an embryo. And this embryo is then put back into the uterus. And we put back maybe 1, 2 or 3 embryos back into the uterus. And then the patient goes home. She's told 3 to 4 days of house arrest, not bed rest. And after 14 days, she does a blood test. And we actually know whether she's pregnant or not. And today, the pregnancy rates are so good that under 35 years of age, it's nearly 50 to 60% pregnancy. Laser is a technology where, like there's a covering on top of this embryo because this embryo is actually formed in the tube naturally in the body. So there's a covering. It travels and comes inside the uterus and then it hatches out like a chicken egg. It hatches out inside the uterus. So sometimes this covering becomes hard. We use this laser to give a cut on that covering so that it cracks open and the baby can come out. My first patient of laser hatching. I think we just got the machine in Bombay, and I used this on a couple that they had failed IVF with me twice, I think, yeah, once, and then we did laser hatching, and she conceived twins. And her father was a doctor. She's come out in the open and talked about it, so I'm okay with it. The father was a doctor, and when we delivered, I delivered them in Beach Candy. The father, who was very, very senior to me, actually touched my feet. I can't, that made me realize that wow, I mean, you're doing such amazing work that it, it was very humbling experience. That it was so important to that family to have children that they were so happy with it. It was unbelievable. And in fact, they named the children after me and my partner, that's Nandita and Rishikesh. Breastfeeding is very important. So that's why probably our country has extended the maternity leave, from 12 weeks to 24 weeks. I think it gives enough time for the mother to spend with the child, to do, to do breastfeeding, etc., in the privacy of her own environment. And nowadays we have these milk banks, human milk banks also. And the mothers are taught. We teach all our mothers, especially those who are working, how to do the breast milk expression, how to freeze it, how to pasteurize it, so that it can be used for the baby. The recommended breastfeeding is 6 months to a year. I have seen women breastfeeding right up to 2 years also. But 6 months to 1 year is a reasonable time. We have a very hypocritical society. I've seen women workers, they are carrying those things and they're working at sites, construction sites, and they have their small children with them, and when they start crying, they go and they just feed the child over there. Okay? So it's accepted over there. It's accepted in the higher society that, oh, breastfeeding is, like very crucial, very important, this, that. So the higher society has accepted. It's only the middle class who has actually stuck itself in a rut. So I don't blame anybody. I think the society differs at different points, different levels, and one has to, like, if you're in Rome, you have to behave like the Romans. So I think you have to respect the sensibilities at that various levels. We always blame the government for everything. Okay, we need to take some responsibility also. Each one of us has a social responsibility. There is a corporate social responsibility and there's an individual social responsibility, which I believe in also. And I feel that we have a lot of other resources which can be utilized to improve the healthcare. So yes, the GDP, if they give us, that's great, but otherwise we have enough private colleges, private hospitals, which would be willing to do it if it is, like standardized. And a lot of doctors do free work. The only thing is it's not documented. I will be the president of the federation in 2019, and we work with NGOs all over the country, and these NGOs get a lot of funding from abroad, and this funding is used to create different health initiatives in the country. A lot of it is concentrated on family planning because the goal is to reduce the population and to make the mother and child healthy. I think a lot has been done, and it's very easy to blame, I feel. I think we should all put in our bit and contribute towards it. There were some taboos which were associated with infertility, that when you get treated for infertility, it's not your child. Test tube baby is not your child. So we really had to counsel those people and tell them that those who require test tube baby, that it's your child. We are not using anybody else's sperms or anything. Because the donor concept is really ingrained into them. The other thing is, I think the television, the telephones, the cell phones have really changed what rural India is. There's a lot of knowledge which is disseminated and people are pretty much aware. Main problem that I find is probably the cost. The cost of the treatment is a lot. So we are doing a lot of programs, and a lot of people are doing programs where they offer at low cost to a certain group of patients. We have a society called the Indian Society of Assisted Reproduction, through which me and my president, I was the secretary at the time, we had launched this program of free IVF. So those people who registered on the website, they were enrolled, and everybody in the country, we all members of the society, offered to do free IVF for these patients. What I feel today is that society has given me a lot back. Now is the time for me to return it to the society. And since, through my Mumbai society also, I did a lot of free work. We did school education programs. In fact, we are running one program where we are teaching filmmaking to those girls from schools which are not so well off, and those girls will be making films and they will be played in PDR. So it's like a skill development. So I think there's a lot to do in our country. I'm the endoscopy president right now, and we are looking at family planning in a big way. The whole thing is moving towards reversible family planning. Like you go in and clamp the tubes, it's a permanent one. But there are lots of injectable or contraceptives coming in which need to be told to the people that don't be scared, use them. And it's a long-acting reversible contraception, which is really the in thing right now.